Outside today, we copy and paste tomorrow, but our next weather impact day, not far away. When rain and storms return, coming up.
Allison Rogers for a closer look. Hi there.
Hey, Cherie. Gorgeous outside right now. We've had that sunshine around for the entire day. It was a beautiful morning, too. Even a little bit of a chill in the air with temperatures in the upper 50s this morning. We're sitting at 76 now in Cincinnati. Still, of course, a little bit cool for June, but overall a beautiful day. No rain to tell you about for the rest of today, tomorrow, and then as we get into the second half of the week, that dry stretch tries to come to an end, possibly as early as Thursday night. But really and truly, our next weather impact day isn't going to be until Friday, with the chance of rain and thunderstorms at this point looking pretty likely. Also keeping an eye on the potential for any stronger thunderstorms to try to work in here on Friday. Chances will last into Saturday as well. So enjoy the dry weather where we've got it today. Take advantage. Get the grass cut today if it's finally dried out after the last couple of days of rain that we had. High pressure is going to stick around for a little while longer, hence that dry stretch lasting into Thursday afternoon at least. But coming up in a few minutes, I'm going to show you those impacts as we head into the upcoming weekend and when some summertime heat makes a comeback coming up. But we do have late week storm chances that are going to move into the weekend as well. So some impacts as we head into this upcoming weekend. I'll have more on that timeline, what you can expect in terms of those impacts, as well as the summertime heat that's going to settle in here coming up. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, and we'll be right back. In tomorrow's weather for Friday and Saturday, because Friday and Saturday are the days that right now on the 7-day are the weather impact, because we've got rain, we've got thunderstorms in the forecast for those 2 days. So if you've got plans to head out to any of the Pride events this weekend, we've got the Hamilton County Fair. So much is happening outside this weekend. And yes, there is that chance of rain and thunderstorms. But right now, things are looking good. 76 in Cincinnati, 80 degrees in Loveland. Temperatures are sitting around 78 in Hamilton. In fact, just a new reading coming in from Loveland, 78 there right now. Loveland Bike Trail, I bet, is really nice, especially when you're in the shade. It feels great outside today, even in the sunshine with temperatures that cool and no humidity. Really nice. Looks like it's going to be perfect for the Reds game tonight. 75 for first pitch. Temperatures are going to fall down into the upper 60s by the time we get to the last out, and we'll have lots of sunshine around for most of the game. By the last out, sun's starting to set and go down, and we're looking pretty good out there for the rest of tonight. High pressure to thank for that. You can't really see it behind the banner, but there's a big H back there, and that's going to help keep things quiet and dry for the rest of today. But then starting Thursday into the weekend, so Friday, Saturday, there is going to be another system that works in here. That's going to bring us a rain chance, a thunderstorm chance. Heavy rain potential at this point is looking possible. And then we're also keeping an eye out for the chance for any stronger thunderstorms that could start to go up Friday especially. Right now it's looking like Friday's the most impacted day from this wet weather. It's Saturday too, but Thursday, really late into Thursday night, we've at least got the chance to see some rainfall around the area. I think most of that holds off until after the sun sets. So if you are heading out to the Hamilton County Fair, I believe it opens on Thursday. Most of the day looks all right, but once we get to Thursday night, we'll have to watch for that chance of some rainfall or possibly even a thunderstorm to move in. By Friday, pretty likely that we've got some off and on showers and thunderstorms. What that does and how that influences the chance for severe weather still remains to be seen, but we are looking at the potential, at least at this point, for some thunderstorms to roll into the area, some of which could be on the strong side. I do think heavy rain this weekend, going into Saturday especially, could end up being something that we're talking about, possibly a flood threat for the weekend. Again, there's still a lot of real estate between now and then, so things can change and possibly will change, but those are the things that we're monitoring right now as we are on the heel, or as we approach our next weather impact days. So for the rest of today, just gorgeous outside. Tonight looks like another beautiful one as well. Might have a little bit of fog around in the morning tomorrow, and temperatures are going to fall down into the upper 50s. Much like this morning, we fell to 59. Tonight, likely about 58 degrees for the start of the day tomorrow. So a little bit cool to start things off. Then as we get into the afternoon, we warm up nicely into the low 80s. Pretty comfortable, pretty seasonal for this time of year. But then after all this rain that we've been talking about for Friday through Saturday, after that, still looks like we're on par for seeing that real summertime heat kind of settling in here heading into next week. In fact, could even be looking at the potential for our first 90-degree day heading into next week. So looks like we've got that warmth headed our way for sure. For tomorrow, looks great outside. If you have plans Thursday, here's that timeline for everything. So still dry in the morning. Temperatures in the afternoon topping out around 84. It's going to be a little bit warm outside, especially compared to today. And then as we get into the nighttime, that's when we have that chance for some thunderstorms. So we've got a late USA game on Thursday night. If you're going to stay up for that, there is that potential at least to see some storms out there. Friday is our most likely day to run into that rainfall. Saturday, we've got the chance to some scattered rain, some showers, some thunderstorms, all a possibility on Saturday as well. So if you had any plans to be out and about, stretch for right now, but rain and storms returning later this week into the weekend. How soon before you feel those impacts coming up? From all the rain, the clouds that have been around the last couple of days. So gorgeous weather lasting through the rest of this evening. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 70s, low 80s, depending on the town you live in. You're at 81 right now in Anderson, as well as cold rain, but upper 70s from Blue Ash to Hamilton and Cincinnati now sitting at 76 degrees. Really comfortable outside today. Looks great tomorrow as well. Pretty much copy and pasting that forecast into Wednesday, but as we head into the second half of the week, starting Thursday, there's going to be the chance to see some rain, some thunderstorms. Friday at this point is looking like our most likely day to run into that wet weather. I am looking at the potential for rain, thunderstorms around the area, some of which could be on the strong side. Also, the potential is there for some heavy rainfall to roll through here later into the week and throughout the weekend. So coming up in a few minutes, I'm going to show you the timeline for what we're looking at so far as we head into a couple weather impact days this upcoming weekend. Sheree, into the second half of the week, we've got rain, thunderstorms returning, some updates to the forecast as we get into Thursday and Friday coming up here in just a few minutes. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, and we'll be right back. Game tonight, so looks really comfortable out there for that. We've got 3-2-1 Tuesdays happening, Bark in the Park. Lots of fun to be had at the ballpark tonight, and so far, it looks like that weather is going to be gorgeous for the night, gorgeous for tomorrow's game as well. A dry one out there thanks to high pressure that's going to continue to settle in. It's dry outside. That's all, again, thanks to this H that's kind of starting to work its way over top of Chicago. It's hard to see on our map, but it's there. High pressure. You feel it. You feel the effects of it. You see it too in the clear sky that's outside. Next couple of days, while today and tomorrow are nice, after that, we've got some impacts on the horizon. So I actually decided to go ahead and make Thursday weather impact day because thunderstorms on Thursday at this point look like they could be around into the evening. So keep that in mind if you had any plans. Hamilton County Fair kicking off on Thursday. With that in mind, there is that chance of rain and thunderstorms here by the evening time frame. Up until that point, it looks like it's going to be dry outside, but we start to see an uptick in that humidity as well on Thursday. Friday, rain and thunderstorms looking pretty likely. Some of those storms could be on the strong side. We'll be watching that pretty closely here as we get to the end of the week. We're looking at that potential as well as a heavy rain threat, which could even linger into Saturday. So we are looking at some decent rain heading our way yet again after the last week has brought us several rounds of heavy rainfall and, of course, all of the active weather that we've gotten in the last week as well. Rain and thunderstorms around on Saturday. We start to try to dry out here on Sunday. Beyond that, it looks like it gets really hot. So unlike the last couple of systems that have rolled in here, we've always managed to kind of stay mild afterwards. Next week, it looks like temperatures are going to reach into the mid to upper 80s, even close to 90 degrees starting off next week. So for the rest of tonight, gorgeous. Again, if you're heading out to the Reds game, good for you. I mean, that weather is going to be fantastic. Or if you have anything else going on tonight, bike rides, workouts after work, or if you're going to be going out to swim meets tonight, comfortable even for the parents for the swim meets. Not too hot out there. You're not going to be wanting to jump into the pool from all the heat. That's for sure. Might tomorrow if you've got a swim meet going on because temperatures start to reach into the 80s tomorrow afternoon, but overall it should stay pretty comfortable outside. The morning too could bring us a little bit of patchy fog. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s, so a little bit cool outside to start the day. Very similar to how we kind of kicked things off this morning. Temperatures were in the upper 50s, a little bit of a chill in the air, but it went away pretty quickly as soon as the sun started to come up. Throughout the rest of Wednesday, we'll see some sunshine, temperatures topping out pretty seasonable for this time of year, low 80s outside on Wednesday. Then into Thursday, we'll start the day off dry, but then by Thursday night, we've got that potential, even Thursday evening, that potential for some rain or some thunderstorms. Friday's still looking like the most likely day that the rain is going to be kind of most widespread. Again, watching for that thunderstorm potential for Friday. With that in mind, there is going to be the potential at least for some strong or even severe storms. We're keeping a close eye on that as well as a chance for some heavy rain. Where that heavy rain sets up between Friday and Saturday still kind of remains to be seen. And if we even could see some strong or severe storms Friday also remains to be seen. But at this point, it's looking like enough of a possibility to at least mention it. Then into Friday night, fantastic. Right now we're looking at a beautiful sky. We're sitting in the 70s across greater Cincinnati. We officially today topped out at 78 degrees. 80 in Hamilton right now, 77 in Blue Ash, closer to 79 in Anderson, and Coleraine sitting right around 80. This is pretty interesting here. This has been obviously an incredibly active month so far with all the storms, the damage, the tornadoes, but then also that rainfall. We've picked up around 6 inches and a quarter of rainfall so far this month at CVG specifically. We're not too far away from hitting potentially a record in terms of breaking into the top 10, but not just that. This upcoming weekend, we're looking at picking up about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. The wettest June that we have ever had on record is sitting at 9.86 inches. We only need about 3.5 more to go to get there. It's entirely possible that we end up seeing that this upcoming weekend with rain and thunderstorms on the way. So I am tracking what's going to be another active pattern this upcoming weekend coming up. Chris, 6, we have 81 still in Walton, Kentucky so far this evening, but just fantastic outside. High pressure is what we have to thank for that. That's going to stick around through the day tomorrow. So if you want to take a day to enjoy the dry weather, sure, go ahead and do that. If you need to take a day to get some stuff done around the house, any sort of outdoor projects happening, tomorrow you've got that chance to do so. It's going to be another gorgeous day. High temperatures reaching into the upper 80s tomorrow afternoon, and we'll stay there for most of the afternoon tomorrow. 70s here for a little bit longer, closer to about 69 by about 9 o'clock tonight, eventually dropping down to 64 by the time you join us back here, News 5 at 11. Now, we have to focus on what's ahead for the second half of the week because we're heading back into an active pattern here. We've got 4 weather impact days on the horizon for us, Thursday through Sunday. What it's looking like is somewhere between Thursday and Saturday. We've got a storm threat that could potentially bring in some stronger severe storms. Right now, it's hard to nail down which day that's going to happen, but Friday at this point is looking like the most likely day that we end up seeing that. We also are looking at the potential for seeing a decent amount of rainfall. 2 to 4 inches looks possible throughout this time frame. That looks to mostly be something that we end up seeing accumulate Friday as well as Saturday. So we're looking at another flood threat heading into the end of the week, another severe weather threat heading into the end of the week as well. So all these weather impact days, keep a watchful eye on our forecast starting on Thursday. Of course, between now and then, there's still a couple of days to get there. So things can and will change. We'll be able to kind of give you more details as we get closer to the second half of the week. But right now, what we're looking at, dry weather through tomorrow. And in fact, a good amount of Thursday is going to end up dry. But as we get into Thursday evening, could start to see some of those thunderstorms sparking up. And then Friday especially. So Futurecast showing you gorgeous weather here for the rest of this evening. I mean, great outside. Tomorrow looks nice as well. A little bit of fog is possible tomorrow morning. A little bit of a chill in the air too for June. We're talking temperatures in the upper 50s by tomorrow morning, which is similar to where we were this morning, and then making it into the 80s on Wednesday afternoon, about 81 on Wednesday. I've got Friday on the brain with that chance of some storms moving in here. Thursday, though, here's a sneak peek at what that radar could look like by Thursday evening. We start to see some of those storms moving into the area. Again, once we get into Friday, that's when it's looking like we end up seeing our best potential for severe weather at this point. That still can change easily as we get closer to the day itself, but that heavy rain threat's going to be there Friday as well as Saturday. After that, we head into some real